If you're a new content creator starting in 2024, here are the 5 biggest pieces of advice that I want you to follow. Just in case we haven't met yet, my name is Aaron Young from 7 Figure Coaching, and this is my second YouTube channel where I teach all the strategies on how I used YouTube to build my first 7-figure business. With all of that said, let's get straight into the teaching. And the first thing that I would focus on is that I would focus on question answer based content. And what I mean by that is that you create content which answers questions that people in your niche are asking. So a perfect example in my setting, when I started my first YouTube channel, which is all about teaching people Google Ads, I focused on creating content which was answering the biggest questions that people had about Google Ads. Whereas on this channel, which is focused on teaching people how to monetize their knowledge and make money online, I focus my content on answering questions that people ask about becoming a content creator, about monetizing a YouTube channel, and about how to sell online courses and paid communities. And for me, this is the easiest and best way that you can become a profitable online content creator, one that actually gets paid for what they produce. And the reason for that is because you're creating content for questions that you know are already being asked. And before you ask that question, how do you find out what people are asking? Let's jump into a screen share so I can show you the process that I run through in order to find this content and create this content. So there's 2 main tools that I use, and the first one is Answer the Public. And what I've just done through here is I've just done a quick search for content creator. I've forced it onto YouTube and then United States market. So you can add some different things in there. And then what this does is that this gives you a whole heap of questions that people are actually asking on YouTube around this subject. Let's just say from here, we want to use this topic of why become a content creator. I would then go over into YouTube, type that in, and then this comes to my second tool, which is called TubeBuddy. And the reason for why I love TubeBuddy is that YouTubeBuddy then allows me to see this content in a couple of things. So firstly, there are some other different common video tags that I can use. It also gives me a breakdown of the search volume. But the great thing I love about TubeBuddy is that I can then go through and have a look at a real life search and look to see whether I feel like I could create some content in this search that would be able to compare with these. The other thing that I do also like to do as well is look at their thumbnails. And for me, if I was to create a video for this search, I would create something with a blue or a yellow thumbnail, because as you can see here, everything is either quite dark. So a great tip that I would use in here is to also really look to create a thumbnail that stands out. And that's why I love TubeBuddy. For that second tool, which I showed you, which was TubeBuddy, if you want to access TubeBuddy yourself, all you need to do is to follow that link in the description below, and that'll take you through to an offer where you can also access TubeBuddy for your YouTube research. And quick heads up, that is an affiliate link. So if you would like a way to support this channel, that would be much appreciated. Thank you very much. So the first piece of advice would be to focus on that question answer based content, where you go through, find out what people are searching, and then create content which give answers based around those questions. And then this brings us to the second piece of advice, which is to have a lead magnet in every single video that you release. And this was actually the best bit of advice that I got when I started. And the advice that I got was to make sure that every video has a lead magnet in it. Now, if you're unaware, a lead magnet is where you give a viewer of a video an opportunity to download some extra teaching. And this could be an ebook, it could be a downloadable guide, it could be a Google Sheet laying out some different strategies, it could be a video to some extra training. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's all more about that you are inviting the viewer to gain some extra valuable teaching. In return for that, they're entering into your database. And the reason for why I recommend that you have every video that has a lead magnet is so that you can start building your own database. Now, YouTube is an amazing platform, which I love, but you do need to remember that while subscribers are important, over 70% of all YouTube views come from the recommendations tab. Now, for me, I'm subscribed to a lot of channels that I just don't watch their videos anymore. Now, it's not because I hate their content or I hate their channel and their videos. It's just that I'm not actively learning or watching their videos at the moment. So that's why YouTube isn't throwing up their most recent videos. So for those content creators, if on their database, they have no real way of reaching out to me. And that's why I recommend that when you are starting in YouTube, to make sure that every single video has a lead magnet. So that way you can start building your database from day one. And the third piece of advice I would give new content creators is that don't stress if sales don't come straight away, even if it takes months. For me, when I started with my first channel, I didn't get a sale for the first 4 months. And even on the second channel, everything that I knew, it still took 3.5 months for me to get my first sale. And the reason for that is because, especially when you're starting, you need to not only build up your viewers and your database and all of your different systems and processes, but even now on my first channel, which does over 6 figures a month in sales, people who buy my courses generally started the process of learning about my videos and my strategies about 3 months earlier. What will generally happen when someone buys your course or joins an online community is they'll start to watch anywhere between 1 to 10 of your videos, they'll download some of your lead magnets, they'll test those, and then they'll eventually come through and buy a full course. So don't be surprised, especially when you start, if you're not seeing any results right at the start. And that's probably one of the biggest frustrations of being a content creator. And even for me, who started this journey of my second channel this year, I know this process. As I said, we've got a 7-figure business based off YouTube, so I know this works. But even at about that 3-month mark, I was starting to go, am I doing something wrong? Is something not right with my content? And then just out of the blue, those sales started rolling in. So what I would just really stress with you there is to stick to the process, make sure that you've got all those lead magnets coming in, and then those sales will come through. One thing I do want to add there is that if you are really going to get the full hit of all of the sales that you can get in your business, you do need to have a high converting sales funnel. And to help you with that, if you want to get access to my own sales funnel kit, which will take you through the strategies and even give you access to the emails that I use for my business, all you need to do is to follow that link in the description below so you can get access to my 6-figure sales funnel building kit. The fourth piece of advice that I would give to a new content creator who is just starting out in 2024 is to look at the right metrics. Especially in YouTube, the number of subscribers becomes a real badge of honor. And I do get it, subscribers are important. It does give you a level of validity. There's also the different play buttons and all of those different things. But remembering that, especially for a content creator who's looking at selling their online courses and different communities, the number of subscribers that you have is really just a vanity metric. You don't get any money driven by the number of subscribers you have. And I could show you countless examples on my other channel where I've got 80,000 subscribers that I'm getting sometimes 30 to 40% more views than a channel that has over 100,000 subscribers. Yes, subscribers are something that you do want to see come into your YouTube channel, but they're not the end game, especially for a content creator who has the goal of selling their own courses or creating their own paid communities. The other thing I'd say is that don't focus solely on subscribers. What you really want to be focusing on is you want to be focusing on the core metrics of how many opt-ins you're getting into your database from your views, and then how many sales you're getting from your opt-ins. And for both of those metrics, you want to be getting about 3 to 5%. So what I mean by that, for every 100 views, you want to be getting between 3 to 5 new leads into your database. And then every month, for every 100 leads into your database, you want to be getting 3 to 5 sales. If you've got those two things in place, even if it's running off very, very small numbers, you don't need to stress. Eventually, when you get more views coming into your business, you're going to have a business built for success. And then the last thing that I really want to stress for new content creators is to just start. Especially at the start, your first video is not going to be perfect. I know for me, my first video was the complete opposite of perfect, and I still look back at it and I can't believe that people still watch it. Don't hold back on starting because you're trying to get a perfect video. The other thing that I would say there as well is that when you start a new channel, it does actually take time. It's highly likely that no one will really watch your first video and no one even really watch your first 50 videos. It's a very, very interesting place where I am right now. I've got 2 different channels and I released 2 videos on both of those channels, and I'm using the same strategies. Now that I've released over 300 videos on YouTube, I'm a lot more confident as a presenter. But my first channel, when I release a video on that, in the first 3 days, I'll get anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 different views. Whereas on this new channel, because it's only been going for a matter of months, when I release a video on here, I'm lucky to crack over 100 views where we're at right now. When you are starting out, you do have to go back, and it does take time for the YouTube algorithm to pick you up and to really find out the right audience for you. So what I would say when you're starting out, don't be worried if the first 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 videos do not get any views. In fact, for me on my first channel, it took me, I think, 78 videos before I started to get some real breakthrough and uptick in performance. So don't be alarmed. It's a process that all of us have to go through. Thank you for joining me. My name is Aaron Young. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. And remember, if you want to get access to my 6-figure funnel building kit to help you with your sales, follow that link in the description below. And if you'd like to get extra help into how to set up your studio so that you can record your YouTube videos in the fastest way, go through and watch this video right here. See you next time.